reference to the prison situation, I given it some thought, and I think because it's such a dangerous situation, whether we're talking about lockups, detention, prisons, or jails, the power of control is extremely great. And in my opinion, I would agitate against the bureaucrats that run these places just for the vital information in reference to transportation, health, food, what kind of crimes they in there with, and just being concerned about that in a big way doesn't put pressure on the prisoners to try to communicate in the sense that trying to coordinate. But what I'm saying is that the people in the public have a better chance of getting vital information and then squeezing the bureaucrats for more information. Because like I said, it's a torture chamber extraordinaire. And in those type of situations, you can lose your life faster. So it's a good idea, man, to do good, solid, common sense, sensible work, because the bloodshed or the risk of bloodshed is greater than it is in the general public per se. But that doesn't take anything away from what they do out here. But it's just double and triple in prison. That's all. Got any more? You got any questions?
I believe we have some questions from last week. I'm gonna look those up right now, or the last time we did this. So for those who's joining right now, we had some technical difficulties last time with Abdul, and so I wanted to kind of give him an opportunity to kind of get to the couple things that we missed in the last interview. So we wanted to talk a little bit about the prisoners and what they're struggling with, and what we can do on the outside to support them, as well as this concept that you've been talking about, first aid. So can you tell us a little bit about first aid? And I'm going to pull up the question from last week, or from not last week, a few days ago. But yeah, first aid.
All right. As I remember it, and where I really got started on first aid was I had been in prison from 2000 to, I meant to say strike that, from 1980 to 2000. But in the meantime, around 85, it didn't look like I was getting out quick. So I thought about it and I said, I'm not going to have any insurance. I'm not going to have, other words, I was forced into prison based upon the blackball. And this was in reference to my experience with drum. So I knew I wasn't going to have any type of government fallback on anything. And so I started studying alternative medicine. And in the process of studying alternative medicine, first aid always came in, because in the prison system, the medical situation is diabolically below par. And to even request medical help puts you in danger. So anyway, I started studying. So I got a chance, man, to read Back to Eden by the Claus family, which is a classic. I got a chance to get introduced to Bernie Siegel, who was a vitamin C guy. I read Dr. George Washington, I meant to say Watson, on the DNA tip. That was a great story as far as the scientists go. And, just learning that for the most part, during this virus shit, Black people as a whole ain't got no type of medical backup. And so in the long run, while this corona thing is not going to go away anytime soon, there should start some serious study groups, Facebook, any place where people can get together on this Zoom tip and really come up with some tactics, man, because you can see the federal government really ain't got none. And the local bureaucrats if they don't get no money for it, they ain't gonna really come up with nothing. And the people that's already getting paid is being supervised by supervisors who's playing the political game. So we're talking about 400 years of bullshit all the way across the board. So you know what I'm saying? At some point, I believe that we're supposed to come up with our own common sense first aid shit. Because we ain't had first aid in 400 years, man. And when I think about what's happening at the border detentions, women with children, man, that's not a good look, man. And if anybody gets a chance to leave there, they gonna need first aid to go. And I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying. So that's when I say first aid, I'm talking about first aid all the way across the board. And we living in a society where the bureaucrats are part-time sadists and part-time masochists with a strong schizo twist in their game. So you don't never know when they doing the sadist or the masochist thing, you dig, when it comes to real live first aid. So and I'm saying, man, first aid, man, starts from, you dig, what's on the surface. But we also talking about diabetes, we talking about strokes, and what I really learned about this first aid shit is learning how to eat properly. And that's another long story that doesn't have any instant solutions to none of this shit. And so I'm just saying, man, especially if we can come up with some really good, and especially for our children, because they're going to need the energy to fight this shit back, man. I'm 73 years old, so I know I'm not doing anything quick. And I'm just proud to be in the Late Bloomers Collective. That's all I can say, man.
All right. So Abdul, we have a question not here, but from our last interview that got interrupted. It says, "Hi Abdul, I really like your jacket. Thank you for educating. What advice would you give to younger generations who are trying to convince other already politically active folks that voting for either corporate party will never bring liberation or empower the working class, and that organizing structures of political power outside the duopoly is not impossible?" And this comes from Karina Akripais.
Wow, that's a hell of a question there. And it's got multiple layers to it. The first thing that comes to my mind is collective study for collective practice. Every local situation is not going to be the same thing locally, regionally, or nationally. And from my method, you got to look at the actual situation that you're in and the decisive factors that move a situation backwards or forward, and what kind of resources that you have to rely on locally. But the main thing is how to transfer a body of knowledge and receive a body of knowledge, and being able to sum up both of those kind of which ways on a regular basis. And when I say regular, I'm pretty much by the hour, by the minute, by the week, by the day, by the month, by the year, by the decade. And so it's a hell of a fight learning process, man. And actually what I'm really trying to say is that it looks like the rulers can't rule in the same old way. And from where I'm sitting, a bunch of us say we ain't gonna live the same old way. So there's plenty of room between those two circumstances to lay down some hell of a fight. And if we don't do it now, we're gonna go backward further than we want to be from here. Cause if we go more backward from this virus thing, we almost start trying to dig our own graves, man. That's how serious this shit is. And so, as much as I like David Chappelle, this shit ain't no joke, man.
All right, so we got a comment in the section here that says, go to developmentforafrica.org and join the people's war against COVID-19, which we call the colonial virus. So what do you think of this phrase, colonial virus?
Well, we living in a colonial society, left, right, up, and down, from latitude to longitude. And when you mention colonial, it has two aspects as far as I'm concerned. It has the quote unquote industrial aspect to the colonial situation, and it also has the technical aspect to the colonial situation. So if you living in so-called semi-feudal, semi-industrial, semi-technical places, it's gonna call for a whole bunch of semis. And like us living here in the empire of the colonial system, I'm not gonna say I'm other words, we done underestimated ourselves, and we playing off of old colonial concepts of resistance. We have not got modern enough. I mean, we still arguing about what kind of nationalist you is, what kind of revolutionary you is. Are you a Stalinist or a Trotskyite? Do you support China? Do you, on and on and on, when the real issues of the real people on a large scale, this is diabolical, man. And the age of Rona has put us in a better position, man. If we could get rid of these artificial divisions and come together on some concrete facts and keep to that, and that's where I done made my biggest mistakes, man.
So the question I want to ask you is a question I've been posing to a lot of different people, and that question is, why is it that a market system can't supply the medical necessities, during a pandemic?
The main reason is because they looking for a way to profit. As it stands right now, we could go in our backyards and get more medicine than we could at Walmart. And that's the honest to goodness truth. This is the season for dandelions. Dandelion tea is a winner. Clover is a blood cleanser. So, and then you got tansy everywhere growing up out the sidewalk, and that's vitamin A. So, you know what I'm saying, man. We are the twisted slaves with the silver slippers, man. And I said it, and I ain't taking it back.
Well, I mean, so for those just joining us right now, this is Abdul part 2, because our first one got interrupted. So I really thank you, Abdul. We got another one coming up at 2 o'clock, so I got to get ready for that. But I wanted to make sure I gave you an opportunity to finish out your thoughts. So
okay, I got one more.
If anyone has any more interest in the things Abdul's talking about, you can search the previous interview and here I think there's about 50 minutes. So you can check out the old interview as well. And there's a lot there with Abdul. So yeah, go ahead, say what you can say.
I also wanted to speak on my my communist comment, but I'll wait till the next time we get together, because that's another place that's got a sore spot, and I got issues in my tissues about it. But what I am going to say is that this is 2020 is the 200th anniversary of Frederick Engels' birth. And between Karl Marx and Frederick Engels, man, I want to represent. And because of Engels' anniversary in this hookup, everything Engels. So that's what I wanted to say.
All right. Well, I appreciate it. We'll talk soon, and yeah, thank you, Abdul. And we'll do it again. I mean, I gotta try. I'm gonna try and make the rounds with like more people before I start bringing people back on a lot.
Nice, nice.
We brought
Well,
it back
thank
on
you
because it
so
was
much myself, man, for the opportunity, man. I'm not really good at this, man, but thank you anyway.
all right. I'll be seeing you. Take
All
care.
right.